Welcome to Topic A here on WYLN, everyone. I'm Gary Perna. Today we're talking about Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, all the good that goes on, and a rating they just received, something that they've worked very hard for. We'll explain all about it coming up with the Chief Medical Officer, Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, here on Topic A. Stay with us.
Oh, what fun it is to save during the Big Finish event. Come into All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram today. Experience holiday cheer with the new 2018 Ram 1500 Crew Cab with Ram Cargo Management. Save up to $11,750. Or lease a new Dodge Durango SXT all-wheel drive for just $279 a month for 36 months. And get 0% for 60 months plus $1,000 in bonus cash. Oh, what fun it is to save during the Big Finish event at All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Say Merry Christmas with a gift from Felons Jewelers in Hazleton and Cunningham, making people happy since 1922.
Your safety matters to us, and now we've been recognized for it. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton earned an A in patient safety from Leapfrog Group. This means we're among the best in the nation for patient safety. We provide the expert care you need close to home.
Call Whitetail this holiday season for outside catering of all your holiday parties. Gift cards for trap, skeet, and sporting clays are also available. They're perfect for an experienced shooter, and shooting lessons are always available for first-timers. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-535-6123. Contact Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range this holiday season.
Join us this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. We'll have an old friend back on the show, Joe McGarry. We're going to learn about his progress since his car accident, and we're going to talk a little bit about how chiropractic care can help you on the journey back to the way you were before. His story, the continuation, this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. Join us.
Welcome back to Topic A here on WYLN, everyone. I'm Gary Perna. I'm very pleased to have with me Dr. Anthony Valente, who is the Chief Medical Officer for Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, and he's kind of the guy in charge of making sure the hospital runs right next to the big guy in the back office, but you're in charge of everything that goes on medical-wise. And Dr. Valente, we want to have you on to talk about some of the great things happening with Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton and some of the good news that we've just received as we're coming to a close of 2018. And that Hazleton's hospital has been awarded the A rating from the Leapfrog Group. Mm-hmm. So this is something that's not just handed out. This is something that a lot of work and a lot of time has gone into. So how did we get to this A rating?
All right, well, if I can, Gary, let me back up just a little bit and give you just a little bit of a flavor for what Leapfrog is, because it kind of sounds like a really weird item.
Yeah.
But Leapfrog was actually developed by large businesses many years ago. It's not new, and it's kind of a consortium of large businesses that were footing the bill for healthcare and decided that they were going to come up with a way for them to actually grade facilities, because actually they felt if they were going to pay for healthcare, they wanted to make sure they were getting a quality product. And so it was made up by companies such as IBM, for example, Hewlett Packard, large businesses developed this years ago, and they developed this Leapfrog rating scale where they looked at multiple metrics that a hospital provides, and very closely looked at these metrics and basically compare you to everybody else in the country. So there's quite a few hospitals that are involved in this, and everybody is on the same playing field. So it doesn't matter whether you're a 150-bed hospital like we are, or you're a 1,000-bed facility, kind of like Cedar Crest, or any of the other large academic institutions. Everybody's on the same grading scale. So you're right. We did just recently receive an A grade on this, which is numerous metrics, which I obviously, for the sake of time, won't get into here. But suffice it to say that there are metrics that come from things like hospital-acquired infections, all the way to whether or not people fall in your hospital, and everything in between. And we recently received an A grade, which is a really nice accomplishment. We're very proud of that. It says that we're as good as anybody in the country as far as leapfrog is concerned. Right. You can't get anything higher than an A. And so it puts us really in a group of hospitals that seem to be doing things right, and we're very proud of that. And more so, I think it speaks to the fact that everybody works together, because believe me, because as I mentioned, it really is it's a continuum of care, and it goes from everything from the emergency room to the time of discharge and everything that happens in between. And so you can't only give one department a hug and say, hey, great job, you got us this. It's everybody and everything that happens in the hospital. So it's all the departments, from the medical staff to the respiratory therapist to the custodians. Everything is included in these rating scales. So it's really nice because it's a hospital-wide effort that really has seemed to pay off.
And this was such a big deal, and something celebrated by the staff and the entire team at Lehigh Valley Hazelton. And this is something that we've seen now being touted by Lehigh Valley to say, listen, we're not lying to you. We're telling you we got some of the best guys right here. You don't have to travel.
That's correct.
You have that. You have people right here who are able and willing to help make the greater Hazelton area a better place to live.
It's very true, Gary, and we feel that way, and I think when we get these types of awards, if you will, or recognition, I guess is a better term, I think it substantiates what we know happens and what we know goes on, and it substantiates that to the public. If you go back a number of years, when even before we really merged with Lehigh Valley, when we had a whole change in administration and everything at the hospital, it goes back to the mid-2000s, I guess, early mid-2000s, we kind of said to ourselves, we're not going to try to do everything in Hazelton, because we can't, but what we do here, we're going to make sure we can do as well as anybody anywhere. Or you can't look somebody in the eye and say you should come here,
right?
And that still goes. If I would never tell a patient, I would never tell a family member or anybody, to come to our facility if I didn't feel they were going to get the same care that they get somewhere else. Because quite frankly, if they can't, they should go somewhere else.
Right.
And that still goes. And I think this is recognition to that effort and to where we've gone over the last close to 15 or just about 15 years or so.
I want to talk about some of the good things that in the last few months have really taken shape at Lehigh Valley Hazelton. We've saw, and we're currently in the process of a huge renovation project. And it's something that made very public from the beginning. We're not closing the doors while this is going on. We are going to continue to operate. We're going to continue to do all this stuff. We're starting to see some of the fruits of the labor with some of the floors being done. Along with that, we've seen a lot of new programs coming in and a lot of new doctors who are offering things right here in our neighborhood that you may have had to travel before. The cancer center, of course, things at the hospital, and everything mixed into there. As the chief medical officer for the hospital, seeing all this happening here, how does it make you feel this, to know that, hey, anymore, you could stay home. You don't have to travel far away. Well,
that's what we continue to try to offer. We want to continue to expand services so that we can offer more in town. And I'm not going to lie to you, it can be a daunting task at times to fill some of these gaps with some of these subspecialists. We're a small community. We can support sometimes only one of a certain specialty, which makes it a very difficult recruit. But we're looking at novel ways of bringing in a lot of these subspecialists, colorectal surgery, breast surgery, that type of thing. So, and as you mentioned, the cancer center is a wonderful addition to the community with our relationship with Cedar Crest and Sloan. So it really has upped our game, raised the bar, however you want to describe it. But that's there's some of the more visible items that you can see of where we've tried to increase specialists that we have here. And as you mentioned, we don't really have a choice but to keep the hospital open during the renovations. It's not an option.
Right.
And I guess thank God we are down to the last full floor that we have to renovate, which is the 4th floor, is being renovated right now. We've already done 3, 7, and 5, and 2 has been, which is our maternity floor. That's been in the process all along, because we can't close that whole floor at one time. Right. We're down to the 4th floor, and as you mentioned, I think we're going to talk about the ED, the footprint of the ED, what's going to happen there, and that's a big project.
Yes, it is.
That people will soon be seeing.
And we're going to stop right there, because when we come back, we're going to talk about the expansion in services at Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton and what that means for us, and also talk about some other great things that are going on and things you need to be aware of. We'll be right back here on Top of Gate. Stay with us.
In preparation for the Christmas season, Antonia's Jewelry and Repair is filled with special collections for this season of joy. We offer a variety of watches, including Bulova. Fine diamond jewelry in yellow, white, and rose gold. Engagement rings that can be custom designed so it is one of a kind. Diamond anniversary bands, rings, pendants, earrings, and more. Full-service jewelry and watch repairs. Stop in to see Toni, formerly from Howard's Jewelers. Let her help you pick the perfect gift. Antonia's Jewelry and Repair, 289 Airport Road in Hazel Township. Hi, I'm Julia Wiegand, the newest news reporter for WYLN News. I'm so proud to be part of your #1 local news team. WYLN News. When local news happens, you can count on WYLN News to be there, whether it's in Berwick, Tamaqua, or right here in Hazleton. We work hard to be your #1 local news station, and will continue to work hard to stay #1.
To translate a vision into reality is true innovation. At Car Arms, we not only manufacture some of the most advanced firearms on the market, we build assurance and reliability through a solid history of quality. We pride ourselves on offering concealable, performance-driven firearm systems that exceed expectations time and time again. Car Arms, American ingenuity at its finest.
I was addicted to heroin and crack.
My choice was alcohol.
I used anything that I could get my hands on.
You know me. I'm the Addiction Network. Over 1.5 million people have called for help. So why haven't you called? What are you waiting for? This year alone, 1 million people will die from drugs or alcohol. Addiction is a disease. Don't kid yourself. You can't beat it alone. Call now. The Addiction Network is here to take your call 24 hours a day. The call and consultation are free, but your time is running out. Don't wait until you lose your job, or even worse, lose your life. Don't wait until you're put in jail. Don't wait until your child dies. Call the Addiction Network now.
I lost everything, and the only way to get my life back was to pick up the phone and call and go to treatment.
Call 800-657-8879. That's 800-657-8879.
Join us this season for holiday programming featuring The Chef Lou Christmas, Holiday Traditions, Holiday Baking with Jen Yamola, Holiday Cooking with Kathy Cucci, Polka Connection, Can Do Christmas, Sounds of the Season, From Saint to Claus, Hometown Holiday, Your Life Christmas Special, First Noel, Holiday Cooking with Helen and Kevin McDonald, Holiday Cooking with Granny Rita. Check out our website at WYLNTV.com for dates and times.
Welcome back to Top Gate here on WYLN, everyone. I'm Gary Pern. I'm very pleased to have with me Dr. Anthony Valente, the Chief Medical Officer at Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton. We've talked about a lot of the work going on and the good things happening at the hospital, and leads us into the emergency department, which is getting a major, or will be getting a major facelift and an expansion as well. That's very important because that's also the first place 95% of people kind of get their first experience in the hospital.
Correct. That's our front door. That's our front door, so to speak. And Gary, to your point, just to attach some numbers, to that. Right now, our emergency department is about 10,000 square feet. With the renovation and addition, it will go up to a little over 19,000 square feet. So it's almost being doubled in size. Right. Total rooms will go from 17 to, I believe it's 35. So the whole thing will be about twice the size that it is currently. The addition will be coming outward into what's now the parking lot. So we're going to be losing a little bit of that parking lot. We're making some changes in the parking and the signage for that parking at the hospital right now. So the extension is going to be coming outward. We get a lot of questions on that. Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? To the left, or where the helicopter is? No, it's coming out into the parking lot, and the lobby will be expanded at the same time. So it should be a really nice facility. The ambulance bays are being redone for them to get in and out in a very efficient manner. So we're really looking forward to that, and it's much needed. Our emergency department has just it's exploded. I'm in town 27, 28 years, and when I came to town we had 8 rooms in the emergency department, and I would walk in and out of there at night because I spent a lot of time in the hospitals, and there wasn't a lot going on.
Right.
And now even at 17 rooms, it is extremely, extremely busy, 24 hours a day, to the point where we literally have to double the rooms again. So if you look at it, just in the 20-some years that I'm here, we're going from an 8-room to a 35-room emergency department. So I think that speaks for the volume that goes through there every day.
And something also to make known. We see a tremendous amount of traffic going to Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, and people don't realize it, but the plants and the industrial park, the businesses that operate kind of within the footprint of the greater Hazleton area, a lot of people are coming in here. So you say it's not just Hazleton proper; it's the whole area and how it really has expanded. And one of the things that we hear sometimes, and there's probably a little bit of a negative thing attached to it, but occasionally the hospital has to say we have to go on diversion. Could you explain what that means? Because some people get that and go, "Oh my God, they can't do something." That's
a terrible word. Let me just say first, we try never to go on diversion. Diversion is absolutely the last. That's your last option. And it has been up until this year. We did go on diversion some this year, but up until this year, it was several years that we did not go on diversion. So you never want to go on diversion, but diversion simply means is that you're at the point where it's safer for you because you've exhausted your facility, so to speak. That it's safer for you to divert the patient to another facility. And as I said, that's something that you try never to do, and it's really the last option that you try. It doesn't happen often. And as I said, it has been several years since we did that. And
one of the things, of course, in which we are hoping that doesn't happen again, is by adding more emergency beds down there and getting more people into the hospital to take care of patients. Moving into kind of with the emergency department, and as I said, that's the front door. That's where you guys are, and everybody seems to go first. But patient care and the level of patient care from the time you walk in Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton or brought in by an ambulance to the time you leave there, whether you spend a couple hours there or you're maybe spending a couple days there, patient care in the last number of years has increased dramatically. And the good things that are being said about Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton now, how does it make you feel as a medical director to see the improvements constantly happening?
Well, very gratified, and again, I think it speaks for the team effort with our medical staff really stepping up, and really bringing it, and all the other departments in the hospital as well, all pitching in to provide wonderful patient care, which starts in the ED and goes right through the whole hospital. And if I could just back up just a step, because I know this is a topic, is the emergency department, and because that is, if you do hear some negativity about Lehigh Valley Hazleton, a lot of it is directed towards the emergency department, and it does bother me a bit because I think a lot of it is unfounded, if you will. A lot of it is about the wait times and how long I waited, and they took this guy before me and I was there, and then somebody else came in and what have you. And the nature of an emergency department is they have to see everybody that walks in. You absolutely cannot turn anybody away. That's a law. You can't turn anybody. If they walk in your door, you have to see them. And you have to see everybody that comes, regardless of whether they're very, very sick or whether they're barely sick. And so that really makes it a little bit difficult, you know, to say how long I'm going to be there, when am I going to get in and get out. But what they don't see, and this is what bothers me, is they don't see the folks that have had their lives saved in the ED. The stories that I hear, that I see, charts that I review, we had an incident a couple of weeks back where a young guy had a cardiac arrest in the waiting room. And the staff of the ED went out of the back into the waiting room and treated this guy on the floor in the waiting room. Put him on a ventilator, put some lines in him, gave him medications, because he was so unstable. He wasn't stable enough to actually move him into the back. They did all of this right in the waiting room until they got him stabilized enough, then brought him back, and then ultimately had him transferred out. We've all heard the story of the gentleman that was, you know, found in the snowbank that was essentially frozen. That, you know, Dr. Coleman, and a good thing he didn't give up. When I can tell you a lot of doctors probably would have. That was a scenario that comes along very, very infrequently, but thank God he did what he did, and he went well over and above. You know, he's alive today.
Yes.
He's doing very well. And so you hear stories like that of just folks that have had their lives saved. And then I hear, well, you know, I went up there and I waited 3 hours to be seen. And I think not that we want to make you wait, but you know, you got to put this in perspective. These people save lives. They're really the front line. It's a dangerous job. You know, again, I'd like some of the folks that are throwing stones at the ED to maybe come up and spend the day there and see exactly what transpires in that ED, what comes in, and what those providers are exposed to, and what they deal with. You know, you know, it's the old put yourself in their shoes. And I think we would have a lot of people singing a different song, so to speak, if they actually did see what went on and saw the people that are alive today because they went to that emergency room.
We're going to stop right there. We're going to take a short break. We will be right back here on Topic A. Stay with us on WYLN.
Get ready for TV that works for you with Service Electric's TiVo Whole Home DVR. Automatically records single shows or an entire series. Record 6 shows at once and store up to 150 HD hours of programming. The easy-to-use guide helps you find your favorite shows. Start your program in one room and continue watching in another. Stop, pause, and rewind live TV at your leisure. Call or go to sectv.com to add TiVo Whole Home DVR to any Service Electric cable TV service or bundle.
Your safety matters to us, and now we've been recognized for it. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton earned an A in patient safety from Leapfrog Group. This means we're among the best in the nation for patient safety. We provide the expert care you need close to home.
Want to watch WYLN over the air with an antenna? These maps make it easy for you to check out our over-the-air UHF coverage area using the Longley Rice propagation mode. All of our broadcast and cable maps can be found on our Facebook page and on WYLNTV.com.
Oh, what fun it is to save during the Big Finish event. Come into All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram today. Experience holiday cheer with the new 2018 Ram 1500 Crew Cab with Ram Cargo Management. Save up to $11,750. Or lease a new Dodge Durango SXT all-wheel drive for just $279 a month for 36 months. And get 0% for 60 months plus $1,000 in bonus cash. Oh, what fun it is to save during the Big Finish event at All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
In a world where an instant tweet can create a firestorm of news coverage, WYLN is moving with the times, allowing for more instant reporting of breaking news on television and on social media, as well as regular hourly news updates. News gets out faster than ever before, and WYLN brings it all to you. Live weekdays at 5:30 only on WYLN. We're your local network. Welcome back to Topic A here on WYLN. And Dr. Valente, I want to talk a little bit about the Stroke and Heart Failure Achievement Awards. You know, these are very serious conditions, and we see an enormous amount of people who come through the hospital with some type of with strokes or heart failure, and to receive good marks from the programs about the great things that are doing and the survival rates now is just an amazing feat of seeing how where we were 20 and 30 years ago with patients with this.
Right. Well, Gary, what you're referring to is our treatment for stroke, heart failure, MI, you know, all of those things. And we've again been recognized for our care by the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association. It's kind of a combination product for our care for those patients. That's great, but what's even more, I think, relevant is we've been getting that same grade for approximately a decade now, and that, I think, is the hard part. You know, it's not that it's easy, but it's one thing to, you know, get yourself up to a particular level, but what really is challenging is keeping it there. Right. You know, because you know, we call it maintain the gains, kind of a little quirky thing, but that's kind of the term we use, is maintaining the gains. In other words, you don't want to get to a particular level and then kind of sit on your laurels. Right. And you know, before you know it, you know, you're starting to drift down. So I'm more proud of the fact that we've been able to achieve that, but more so that we've been able to maintain it year after year after year. And in fact, as I said, it's been, for both of them, it's been close to if not over a decade. I'm not exactly sure on the dates, but it's in the range of 10 years. We've gotten some of the awards every year that they've actually been out there, because they come out with these new recognitions as time goes by, and we've achieved them every time that one was available to us.
Quickly, as we're coming to the end of the show, I want you to just explain a little bit about an MI alert, because I think it's a term that it's been used a couple times, and people, I don't really think, get the full understanding of what happens and what that is.
Well, that's good, and you know, it ties in with what we said in the previous segment with the ED. This is something that takes place in the ED, and again, this is, I think, something that the folks don't see because it's taking place behind the scenes. But this is a case where if you walk in there with chest pain, and you are going to be fast-tracked, you're going to bypass pretty much everything. As soon as you say, I have chest pain, you know, you're moving right to the front of the line. You're going right in. You're going to be greeted by numerous people. And if you meet certain criteria for having what we call an acute MI, it's called a STEMI, which is a certain type of heart attack, then you're going to be called what's an MI alert, and that's a lot of things are going to happen. You'll get a couple of IVs placed in you. You'll get a chest X-ray. You'll get an EKG. You'll get lab work done. You'll get certain medications, and you're going to be whisked off in really quick order down to Cedar Crest via helicopter to have a balloon placed across the blocked artery, because the studies have shown very clearly that that's the best treatment for a STEMI, and the sooner you get that blockage open, the better you are. And as remarkable as it may seem, and again, this is where I want to a shout out to the ED. I believe our record time, from the time the person walked in and said, I have chest pain, to the time the doc down at Cedar Crest put the balloon across the artery, the blockage, which is called door-to-balloon time, was 41 minutes. Wow. Not bad when you think we're 45 miles away. And that takes it from literally the time he walks in. When you say I'm having chest pain, that's when the clock starts. And when the balloon is across the lesion, that's when it stops. So 41 minutes is a truly remarkable feat, considering we have to do what we do here, and we've got to get you down there 45 miles away.
All right, well, Dr. Valente, I thank you so much for coming on and talking with us. We are out of time, and thanks for showing really all of us what truly goes on at Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton and the great news that's coming out of there, and more to come as these guys continue to step up their game and bring the best in healthcare right here to our area in Greater Hazleton. Again, thank you so much, and thank you to Lehigh Valley Hospital for providing us, and we will see you next time here on Topic A.